And we are officially live. Hello, everyone out there on internet land, and welcome back to another All Elite Ensemble review.
Bleh.
Your week, your weekly AEW post show here at BC WrestlePod. My name is Mikey El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, and I am joined this evening by Benny the Bear, my good friendo, who is here to break down AEW Dynamite and Collision with me, Benny. So I'm happy to have you back for this one.
Happy to be back. No funny gimmicks tonight from me. Just let's rock and roll.
Alrighty. So I'm excited. Just like AEW Dynamite and Collision this week, we are quickly building up to Dynasty, which is happening next Sunday, which is crazy to say. And listen, April is upon us. Every company is about to be putting on shows this month. We'll be covering a lot of them, and by the end of it, we'll be tired and crying and dead, metaphorically speaking. But we will more on that information coming up next week because next week is where it truly starts. But really quickly, so let's get into all of this. If you are new to BC WrestlePod, whether you've been here for the longest time or you are new, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick is where we go live pretty much almost every day of the week at this point. Our main channel on YouTube also houses the edited versions of our live streams, so a little bit more self contained. You can follow us on our social medias at BC WrestlePod, where we do report cards and all the fun stuff. We also have a merchandise available to buy at our store, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. Link in the chats across everywhere we are streaming currently for those social medias and the merch store. And we have a coffee bot because we pay for a lot of streaming services and it can get expensive, honey. So if you want to help us contribute to that, you may do so. If not, you being here is enough. All right, let's get into Dynamite and Collision because we got stuff to talk about because Dynamite was really fun. Thank God the crowd was so much better than the last time we talked about a regular Dynamite and Collision. Still looking at you, Fresno. You are forever marred, and you need to do better next time AEW rolls through your city if you end up getting another AEW show. But shout out to this crowd. I was like, thank the Lord. Y'all were so much better. But Build to Dynasty is happening. We are 2 weeks removed from Revolution. So let's just jump into it. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite to kick things off. And what better way to start AEW Dynamite than with this match? And I'm like, my God, we are just out the gate. I was just like, damn, not even the main event. Okay. So we get Swerve Strickland versus Kenny Omega 2. This is Swerve's #1 contendership for the AEW World Championship versus Kenny Omega's EVP position. Still not, still try. I mean, it makes a little more sense now, because when Kenny was actual EVP, he did some really, really heinous stuff and abused his power. It would have felt like a little bit. It would have made it easier though had we had this match while Kenny was still within the height and the peak of all of that. But hey, you know what? Better late than never. I always say. Um, this match rolled like the. I have no other notes than this match banged. I do feel that because this opened and when we ended up getting in the main event, we bookended the show. It made everything after this match really hard to keep the energy up. This crowd was spent by the end of it, and that is the only critique I truly have about this. I feel like if we swapped or paced the show a little bit better, but you know what? Other than that, no notes. In ring was great, really fun stuff. Crowd was into it, which I love. Yeah, I didn't have minus my critiques of where it was placed on the card. This was a really solid opening bout.
Good God, yes. What a, you know, it's great to see the best bout machine back. And I'll never take that for granted. Um, unfortunately, um, Swerve's hubris got the better of him in this one, and uh, you know, one thing I really liked was that like the when they're starting to use Renee at ringside a little bit more. I like that. Like it just feels different and a little bit more old school. Little sideline reporter type deal. And man, what I completely agree. Like this match had like I felt bad for the rest of the card because there was nowhere to top this. So like if they would have like had the like swapped this and Darby and Roosh, like and then had like a ticker throughout the night, like coming up 1 hour or whatever,
Right.
for this, like I think that would have suited a little bit better for the card. But I'm not complaining because we still got Swerve and Kenny right out the gate. So
I agree with you. I do think that overall, it would have been better pacing to swap out this for put this in the main event spot and then open with Roosh and Darby, but it was still really good. And again, it's Kenny and Swerve. I'm never going to not say that I'm worried about their wrestling because this was a banger match, obviously. And I'm looking forward to whenever we get the third match to make it a trilogy. Would not be surprised if well, let's see what happens after Dynasty, if we're gonna get the announcements of the Owen Hart participants after Dynasty or if we're gonna wait because and this is I can't take credit for this. I gotta give Benny the credit for this one, as he said this last week, that because we're seeing a lot of the top of the card be participating in a bunch of matches that seem just randomly put together against one another, I think AEW is subconsciously telling us who's probably gonna be in the Owen Hart this year. And I'm very interested if we're going to still stick with the 8-person bracket or if you're going to expand it to maybe 10 or 12, which I think would be good. Um, I think 12 would be great because then you can have matches the 4 weeks leading into double or nothing till we get to the finals. Um, and hopefully they learned their lesson from last year where you don't announce the brackets and then we wait 3 weeks until we finally start getting some matches in the tournament. To
I
quote
was like, and
They sh
like,
they shot
when are we gonna start this?
they proverbially blew their load when they announced the tournament brackets, and then they blue balled us until, like, 3 weeks later to start the tournament. I'm like, "You can't do that."
Yeah, this is just a little bit of fantasy booking here, but like I'd like to see Kenny take the belt off of Max, and
Mm,
then Max has to go into the Owen and finally win a tournament to get his belt back. Like
right.
finally put his money where his mouth is. you know, he's a great in-ring wrestler. So
Well, I'm very interested to see because if they do the same thing that they did last year with the Owen, where the winner gets a shot at All In. So because it's at Wembley, I have to imagine I was like, all right, is Tony gonna go with somebody that is completely like throw our predictions out the window? Or is he gonna go with the safe British bets and pick the British people to win to go and have a match at All in Wembley. So we'll see what happens. Because we got to figure out what happens at Dynasty too. Because I feel like Osprey and Moxley is not going to be over by the time Dynasty is done. So we'll see how that goes.
yeah, exactly. Like to be honest with you, my fantasy booking didn't even look past Double or Nothing. So there's
We'll see
that.
what happens. Like, let's get through Dynasty and Double or Nothing, and then we'll go from there. Because between Double or Nothing, I don't know if I will see what happens. I haven't heard anything if we're getting Forbidden Door this year. And then if we are, that's like June, July, which I would not be surprised because according to some reports, it sees there might be a lot of AEW folks who are going to participate in the G1 this year. So what better way than to have, Forbidden Door and then send people on over to the G1. But Neither here nor there. Kenny wins, keeps his EVP position, takes Swerve's #1 contendership, and it is officially made that we would be getting Kenny versus MJF at Dynasty now that Kenny beat Swerve to take his #1 contendership. Oh, Icarus, we flew too close to the sun, and you lost your #1 contendership. Great stuff, though. We'll talk about Kenneth a little bit more because Kenneth, I love you, but we could have kept it to an email length. I'm just going to leave it right there. We're going to come to it a little bit later because right now, Osprey cursed on television, and it was great. Osprey cuts this promo, a pre-tape promo. He talks to the camera. At first, I was like, Osprey, where are we going with this? Because he talks about how he admires John, he has for a very long time. And you know what? He's chill about it. But what he's upset about it is that Moxley created the fear within his child, and then the fear of his waifu and his mother and his countrymen. And Will wants to return the favor by creating that same fear and taking out, Moxley for what he did to him and trying to take his career away from him. So, and I quote, Will Ospreay wants Moxley. It's like at Dynasty, I want Mox, I want you, you motherfucker. And I was like, ooh, naughty boy. He cursed on television.
Yeah. I love Ospreay's promos. I was a little bit confused at first too, because like I think they cut in like right after he said Mox. Like but anyways, like I thought this was a pretty funny promo because like Ospreay was just like, it's just like a Geordie to stick his nose in his big ears right where they don't need to be.
That was the other thing. I was just like, oh, we're using slang now? Okay. I was like, damn. I was like, Osprey going in. Love it. So.
And then like Pac's retaliation on Collision was pretty great too.
Oh, absolutely. And I am looking forward to that match tomorrow night on Dynamite. It's going to be so good. So Osprey calls Moxley out, and we'll talk about Moxley's response a little bit later. Well, actually, we'll talk about it after you talk about this match. First of all, I love this graphic. Zeta knew the camera was there. She's like, let me just do something real quick. This graphic of her playing with her hair is fantastic. She's like, I know I'm the baddest. But we get a mixed trios match. So this is Sky Flight, Zeta Steel, and, the Martin brothers taking on the Death Riders. And I was just like, this is going to be entertaining. God bless Skyflight souls though, because they about to get whooped on. This was highly entertaining. Again, Tony Khan, when we can figure out how it really is going to work, I would actually be okay, like we've been talking about for the last month or so. Open up the trios championships to also include mixed trios champions, where it's basically anything goes. Like you can have, like we see here, like I can see the Death Riders fighting Mystico and Jet Speed with the Marina Shafir in the mix of it. Like it'll be fantastic. It'll be great. But that's for a whole nother conversation. This was a really entertaining match. And then of course, the Martin boys are in hometown turf, so they got a pop from the crowd. Everybody did great in this match, but it would be the Death Riders to seal the victory for themselves. I thought this was entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
This was a Zeta Steel coming out moment. Like she was a house of fire from the beginning. There was a really funny spot where like Mox had put one of the Martin brothers like on the top, and Taz goes Yambag, top rope Yambag.
This is my other critique. I was just like, Taz, I'm happy you're doing better. I'm okay if you miss another couple of weeks. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
I love
heel Taz.
I am not the biggest Taz fan. Like it's hit or miss for me. Like when he's this heel commentator, some of the things he says is like, okay, Taz, that was good. But most of the time I'm like, shut up, Taz. Okay, let me put it this way. On television, Taz is okay. Like, it doesn't bother me. Pay-per-view Taz irritates the hell out of me because I'm like, shut up. You talk too much.
Yeah, I get that. The opposite of that is that you get too much Excalibur. So,
Excalibur only annoys me when he, like, you just need the right people. So, like, honestly, put Daniel Bryan on commentary all the time. Never gonna complain because he's great. Him and Nigel need to be on together more because they are funny as hell. I like Nigel McGuinness more on commentary. And I'm gonna be honest. If you want to swap them out, I know it's not Ring of Honor, but like Ian Riccaboni more on commentary for these pay-per-views are great.
yeah.
Because I really enjoyed. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people are either hit or miss with him, but sidebar. I really did enjoy the commentary trio of Don Callis, Mauro Ranallo, and Ian Riccaboni for Global Wars and Uprising 2. I was just like, I actually like the little bit of a trio. It's a lot of fun. And of course, I'm a sucker for Mauro. I was just like, you are over the top and loud, and I love you.
Yeah. Also on that aside, that commentary team just felt like a warm glove, right? Like I was just I was like I love this like just from the get, you know, from Jump Street. I was like, yeah, like Morrow and Dawn have like the best chemistry, anyways, and then Ian and Dawn, whew, man, that was so great. But like getting back to the match, Danny Garcia is man. The disservice that they have done to Danny Garcia, as the kids say, should be studied
Damn.
because Garcia is getting cheered in Minneapolis as a heel over the Martin brothers. Like, like I just mean like he's an organically over babyface. Like,
Hmm.
and they just keep slotting him in as a heel. Like, even though he's more comfortable as a heel, it just it seems a little bit miscast. You know,
It
I'm not
definitely
complaining.
was.
I'm not complaining about it. I think they could course correct at some point, but like live crowds love Danny Garcia, like, and they're supposed to be getting booze. So like, I don't know. I don't know how to fix that.
I don't know either, but the Death Riders do pick up the victory over Skyflight. Moxley gets on the mic afterwards, accepts Will Ospreay's challenge, and officially made for Dynasty. We have our second match, which is John Moxley versus Will Ospreay. It should be noted that it's not for Moxley's Continental Championship, so it's just a match to have a match so far. We got 2 weeks, so anything can change with all of that. But hey, we got our second match made after this one was done, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for that. So really, really
I
fun
love
mixed trios match.
I love Mox in the next promo just being like, "Don't let your mouth get you in trouble."
Moxley was on a good one between Dynamite and Collision. I was just like, damn, Mox, we just letting you loose on the mic in the promo, and I'm here for it. So we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that though, because this was fun. But after our mixed trios match, we get a bit of a tune-up match. Speedball Mike Bailey taking on Rocky Romero of the Don Callis family. Really fun tune-up match. Speedball Mike Bailey wins. Like, simple.
It was great. Like, it's probably the best service of Rocky in ring right now. So, like, I mean that in the best way possible. I love Rocky. One of my favorite Black Tiger masks. So, and that's saying a lot.
No, that's
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Black Tiger Mask is back because one of the CMLL folks, Magnus, has now officially got the okay and has inherited the name. So Magnus is
Oh,
officially
awesome.
Black Tiger Mask is back, and I was just like, yes, give claps. So
Hell yeah.
also,
That's a lineage that has a great lineage.
it no, it truly is. And then on the other hand, we added another member of the Don Callis family via Rocky Romero because CMLL is having a couple of the AEW folks come on over for Friday. And so CMLL star Volador Jr. is now officially in the Don Callis family. So now we're up to 15 people. So I'm like, good golly gosh. Like,
Well,
we
you
could
know what
set it
that
off.
means.
Oh,
Three of
Lord.
them have to be injured.
Oh, Lord. I mean, Lance Archer still got the cast. Josh Alexander, as we found out this weekend, had to go get knee surgery or is about to at least. Um, and Kyle Fletcher, at least what I've been heard, is not like injured. He just tweaked himself. So thank God, because I was like, we don't need nobody else hurt, you guys. We cannot do this. We cannot. But
Yeah, we'll get
anyways,
there.
we'll get there. But great, the fun tune-up match for Speedball. I don't know what we're setting up, Tony. But when we see it later, I was just like, we don't need it to be for a championship, but good, but don't tease me, don't play with me. But we'll get there when we get there. Because right now, guys, MJF returns. He is back from Disneyland or Disney World, one of the two. My money is on Disneyland because you would have to be in California for that. Because that's where the pay-per-view was. But MJF comes back. He talks about how beating Hangman Page was the easiest win of his life. And he like basically tore down the hero for the fans that Hangman Adam Page was. And, just cuts a good old MJF promo, which I was just like, baller, MJF, baller. Well, then, Kenny comes down to interrupts. Kenneth, I love you dearly. Hun, you are great. You are a fantastic wrestler. I'm going to cry when you retire because you have said that you don't got long left in your career. But Kenny, we could have shortened this promo. Like, this did not need to go on for as long as it did. I'm like, tighten it up, Kenneth. Tighten it up.
You know, here's the thing, right? Kenny is a really awkward and goofy promo, right? Like people always hear like the amazing Kenny Omega, right? And then he comes out and he does these like really off promos, but like they're only off because we're used to like Western style promos, right? Like because his cadence works in Japanese like perfectly, you know? But as you said, like this wasn't it. Like to be honest with you, a couple times I spaced out while he was talking. So I didn't even understand everything because
I
it was
know.
just sort of droning. you know?
Kenneth, Kenneth, I love you, but we needed to tighten this up. But you got the point across finally towards the
Yeah.
end of it.
Yeah, he got the
So
point across, but he could have used an editor. That's for sure.
I would like to thank today's unofficial sponsor, Descript. No, just kidding. Having trouble editing down your videos and or speeches? Put it in Descript and you can manually edit it. Subscribe now. Just kidding. No, but again, we get it reiterated that it is MJF versus Kenny Omega at Dynasty. Next week, there's going to be a contract signing, and I'm like rolling my eyes hardcore. I was just like, I was just like, this is how it's going to go. MJF says something. MJF. Kenny Omega being the nerdy, cool-headed persona doesn't feed into it. Contracts get signed. MJF goes off the wall, says something really, really horrible. Kenny Omega and him brawl. What I'm trying to figure out is for like brownie points. What is it that MJF will say to Kenny that will set him off? He's going to talk badly about his husband, Kota Ibushi. That's where my money is at. MJF is going to insult Kenny Omega's boyfriend, Kota Ibushi.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's going to wish he had died from diverticulitis.
Oh my god, that is so much. That is so worse.
I know, because knowing Max, he loves those low hanging fruits, and he loves to get people pissed. So, uh,
God.
uh, for example, see what happened with him and Nemeth this online this past
Oh
week.
my god. That was a trip and a half, y'all. Like, if you have not seen this online fight, like, y'all listen, I am not I am not I am not going to be the person to tell you, be like, I'm not here to, for drama, but I'm messy. And I love me some drama too. So y'all gotta go check that out though, because we'll be here all night breaking that down. But again, contract signing tomorrow night. Rolling my eyes. We'll see. The guessing game is, what is Max gonna say to prompt Kenny to start brawling? And who knows? We might be wrong. There might not be a brawl, but then this is MJF. There's always a brawl.
Yeah, and just to put a button on that Nemeth thing, as soon as I as soon as I saw them talking, I was just like, "This is a work. Like this is for a match." And then, sure enough, like the next day, Creative Pro was like, "Nick Nemeth versus MJF." Like, stop taking stuff seriously, people.
For reals. I'm just like, all right, well, whatever. So we'll see how that turns out. But we move on. Christian and Copeland have worked for FTR. I'm like, damn, Christian, we just out here also saying things. um, but Christian's just like, it's really funny to watch this promo happen, because Christian's just like, yeah, I want a revenge on FTR, but I'm gonna be an asshole about it. Copeland's the one that has the emotional investment into it, but then again, FTR were the ones who attacked Beth, a while back, last time we saw Copeland in AEW. And so he's mad about that, but he's angry of the fact that FTR and their kids play together. Like, they made it personal. I was just like, all right, boys, we're dragging this out for 2 weeks. We got to give us something. So it's just like, okay, cool, baller, got it. Like, cool. And that's also what I have to say about FTR's promo too. These two could be put together. Did I think we needed it to be long when we put these two together? Not really. We got the point of it, but I still appreciate it. And I was just like, we got 2 weeks to continue to set this up and to flesh it out.
Yeah, this also needed an editor. Like, it was fine. Like, I love that Christian is doing some of the best heel work of his career right now, and he's only talking for like 30 seconds. Like, while while Cope is just droning on doing a full WWE style promo in the back, like, my wife and my kids and my hometown and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, okay. And then, like, uh FTR come out here and they talk to the camera like Cope is the cameraman. Like, it's things like this that, like, make me in wrestling, that make me go, what are we doing? 'Cause, like, if they weren't in the building, why did they respond in front of the crowd? Like, you just wasted time. Because this didn't really build anything extra,
It
and
was
it took
really
like
weird.
5 minutes.
It was really weird that they put him back to back like that. I was like, y'all are in the building. Wouldn't you want to fight? Whatever. Like, we weren't told y'all don't have a non compete like Kenny and Max do. So, but it is what it is. It's help us pad this out until Dynasty. So we still got 2 weeks left of this. So I'm like, okay.
I guess really, like, I'm not just trying to complain. Like, I do like these guys, and I like Cope and Christian. Like, I'm a big fan of both. Um, what I mean is that, like, I feel like we put a somebody pressed pause on the feud, and then 6 months later they they unpaused it, and the tag division is just like on a hamster wheel right now. They're not doing nothing, and this is where the tag titles are. What are we doing? Why does it always seem that, like, these like you have so many people in a notebook, and then we're gonna and then just fill in the blanks to get to those matches, and then like everybody else is just well just happy to be featured. Like just weird.
It definitely is. And Benny, I know you said I'm not here to complain, but I am. So I will complain for both of us because I'm like, if you have promos like this, and I know we're padding it out, but like, give me something a little bit more mass, if you will. So, but hey, it gets the point across. They might do something in the next 2 weeks that'll be like, oh my gosh, did you see that? But time will tell. And they're gonna be AEW is gonna be focusing on what else we're gonna put on this card because we got 2 weeks until the pay-per-view. So more on that when we continue talking about our show through the next coming weeks. But right now, so we have to believe that there's a rubber match after this, correct? Like that's what we're building to. Because you had the conglomeration, sorry, let me rephrase. You had our two lovable divorced dads and their emo son Darby win the match at Revolution against the Dogs. Darby beats Gabe Kidd in a coffin match last week. So the conglomeration versus the Dogs is happening. And I thought this was a fun match. I like Orange and Roddy together. I think they are such an odd couple pairing, but like in the best way possible. And I am here for my divorced dads. Um, so I love them dearly. And then the Dogs, I listen, I know David Finlay is polarizing in the sense that either people love him or hate him. I do appreciate the presentation that we are giving the Dogs. And I thought this was a really fun match. Did we need to go through like 2 commercial breaks to have this match? Not really, but I was still entertained. The Dogs do pick up the victory. And you have to think that we're getting one more rubber match between these two because now everybody is 1-1. So we got to have a deciding factor. And who knows what else we're going to get, though. So this is entertaining enough. It did not need to go through 2 commercial breaks, though, as much as I love everybody involved here.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly. Like, but like also like the story's not progressing enough to warrant like another match between these guys. Like, and also for those who are just tuning in to AEW, right? Like, they didn't introduce the Dogs at all. Like, they were just like, here they are, and it's them, and everybody's like, okay, who are they?
So,
You,
and
you just threw them on TV. Like,
no, 100%. And here's the thing, right? So I know AEW is the alternative, and whether people, including AEW fans, like for some reason don't like to use that term, but I'm like, it is the alternative to WWE. It's okay to say that. Like they are another option if you don't want to watch the Fed. And I love Tony Khan because AEW is where wrestling happens. Like that is their big thing. They will have good matches on television, good matches on pay-per-views. Sometimes they make me question certain things, but I love them dearly. But this has been Tony's biggest problem. Now, me and you, we know who Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd and David Finlay are because we watch wrestling around the world. We watch too much wrestling, if we're being completely honest. But we know these guys because we also follow New Japan. And like, I don't even want to say elitist, but the fans that are well versed in wrestling outside of the major United US television programs of wrestling we see on the weekly telly screen and are very much aware of the independent scene and the world scene of wrestling, like we all know who they are. But for someone who is just an AEW fan and that is all they watch and they're new to AEW, you didn't give us any background. You didn't give us a like history. We don't get a rundown of who these guys are. So like for the regular AEW fans who don't know that prior hand knowledge, it makes it really hard to invest in them. And then they're just like, oh, well, I mean, I love Orange and I love Roddy, so I'm going to cheer for them. And I'm like, yes, I love Roddy and Orange too. But because I know who the Dogs are, I'm also cheering for Clark Connors and David Finlay and Gabe Kidd because I also love them too. but context matters. And I feel like AEW does this ever so often when we sign like New Japan or international talent. Tony doesn't give us a buildup or a background. So I'm just like, damn it, Tony, I love you. But like, if for people who only watch AEW and don't know about the other promotions around the world or the independent scene, you have to present them in something to gravitate to get people to gravitate towards them, because it's a disservice to the dogs for being put on TV and not being given anything for the fans to hook onto, if that makes any sense.
No, it absolutely does. And like my thing is that like it's almost like, he looks at the credits, right? Like the like just like any entertainment, right? Like as seen on New Japan, right? And to assume that your entire audience is watching New Japan is asinine, right? And so like we don't get any coming soon vignettes or uh little vignettes introducing who they are and why they're here, right? Like, but it's incredibly frustrating for me because like I like all four of these guys, but there's no story here, like because there's no connective tissue why the story is continuing. And Gabe Kidd, right, like who was written off TV last week, he's loosely associated with the Death Riders, but
I
like
don't know.
the dogs aren't. Like, I've never seen the dogs with outside of that one match with Clark and Danny, but like, what's going on here?
I don't know what the next steps in this look like, but I am telling you, we're probably going to get a rubber match between these two. Which, listen,
Oh,
in ring's going to be a lot of fun. I
hmm.
think all four of these men could go, but the storyline aspect of it is just like we went in reverse order because the dogs lost at a pay per view Revolution. Like we're working our way backwards. That should
Yeah,
like prior to that, going into Revolution, these teams should have been 1-1, and then Revolution with the tornado tag should have been it. Because I'm like, where else are we going with this? There's like nowhere left to go, honestly. So,
yeah.
but I don't work for
It's,
AEW. Tony Khan doesn't
yeah,
pay
I
me to
know,
book
I know.
anything. So,
It's just these are just like uh, frustrations that are on the boil for me right now.
and I don't want to say this word because it's a dirty word, but I was like, this match felt like a filler in the sense of it's like story wise, there's nothing left for us to do here. Let's get the rubber match and move on with our lives. Push everybody to something else.
Yeah,
So
he's. I guess we could have summed it up, but frustrations aside, as this was a match.
it was here. It was a thing that happened on Dynamite television. Didn't complain about it too much, but it was a thing that happened. Moving on. So at first I was a little confused because I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna put a pin in this feud for a little bit, right? So I was just like, all right, whatever. But in my little heart, I was just like, Proto Sheeta is reunited and it feels so good. But we are gonna put a pin in the Kyle Fletcher Takeshita feud. So it's like, okay, I'm okay with this. Now I feel like though Kyle Fletcher is about to be the child of divorce because he's going to be in the middle between Takeshita and Okada though, so I'm like, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, or he kicks both of them in the dick and walks
Triple
away.
threat. Hey, you know what? If All Out Toronto showed us anything, a triple threat that involves Takeshita and Okada is already a banger in my book. Like we saw that with those two in Mascara Dorada.
Yeah. What was the one with Ricochet, Takeshita, and Osprey back in
That
like
match was
Wrestle Dream?
baller.
Oh,
Triple threats Takeshita works very good and it's always refreshing. But Proto Sheeta is back together and I'm not mad about it. I'm happy to see our boys be on the same page again and our besties. We love good besties. Anyways, we'll see how long it lasts before Okada gets jealous. So this should be fun. So I'm still mad that we progressed to here so quickly because this is also another one of those things where, at least at the end of this, I was figuring out where are we trying to go. It seems that we have somewhat of a direction, but I feel like there are better ways to tell the story. But we get our AEW Women's World Championship match at this point of the episode, where the Toxic Spider Tekla is defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Mina Shirakawa. We already discussed it verbatim last week. Why this didn't make a lot of sense for Mina to get a championship match right here. But whatever, I wasn't really going to complain. And the match itself was fine. Again, I won't put it in the category that it was a match that happened on television. At first I wasn't the biggest fan of Tekla using brass knuckies to pick up the win here against Mina. However, I am okay with it, given the fact that it seems that Mina and Tekla are going to still be fighting it out, and Mina's going to get some backup a little bit later when we get to Collision. But yeah, I was just like, this was okay. I didn't hate this, but I just didn't like how quickly we built to this match. But I already said my piece last week about it. But Tekla's great. I love me some Mina. I just wish we could have paced it out a little bit better, where we didn't need to immediately have this championship match like so soon. I felt like we progressed through a lot of plot development.
Yeah. You remember, like, have you ever like watched a movie and then just like look down at your phone for a second and then look back up and you just like, what the hell's happening? What I go? What I miss?
You're watching the movie, you do a quick text message, you look back up, and we're already in the middle of Act 3. I'm like, what happened to Act 1 and 2?
Yeah, because literally in my notes I just said, how were they connected? But I'm not gonna get on top of them because I really liked this match. I really liked this match, and I was a fan of the brass knucks because it's not something that AEW usually does, right? Because for the most part, it's referee's discretion, right? So, like her hiding the knucks and hitting Mina on the top of the head with the knucks, like I like that little bit, a little bit of old school wrestling. But all right, as I said, I'm not complaining about this match. I will complain about the commentary team though, because every single time there's a women's match on, they're during their entrances are talking about what's coming up next on the next event, and then as soon as they get into the ring, they're talking about what's happening after the match. Call the match. Oh my god! I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little testy tonight. It's just the world is a little strange right now. It had nothing to do with Mina and Tekla though, because these two women were fantastic.
Mm-hmm. They definitely were, and again, because we're focusing on Dynamite right now, wasn't sure what was next for Mina, but it seems that we're gonna keep Mina and Tekla and a couple other folks just like feuding for a little bit, which I'm okay with, which we'll talk about when we get to Collision. But Tekla is still our AEW Women's World Champion. It has also come to light that Tekla has not re-signed with AEW for a multi-year contract, so we get the Toxic Spider for a longer bit of time, which I'm here for. Love the Toxic Spider, and she is fantastic. Love her. This match was pretty good. I liked it. They're teasing a greatness in the making because, good God, Tony, whenever you decide to put this match on, I don't know if my soul is ready, but I am here for it.
This was just two good Canadians being two good Canadians. Yeah, I respect you, and you'll get a shot. I love it. This
Sidebar,
great.
sidebar, Benny. Like that was the way that you said it. I was like, that is the most Bostonian thing I've ever heard, and it is fantastic.
I was trying to do like a Canadian accent, but it doesn't work with this accent.
It's all good. I love it. But yeah, this is a teasing. Tony, whenever this match happens, I will be seated and strapped in. That is all that it is. And two good old Canadian boys being two good old Canadian points. Nothing about it. Anyhow. Oh man, I'm so ready for this match whenever they decide to give it to us. Can't wait. Put it on a pay-per-view though. I won't complain if it's on my television screen, but pay-per-view though, it will be on and popping. But do it at the right pay-per-view. As we come to learn from Fresno, these crowds do matter. But anywho, Ricochet is back on television after the shitstorm that was last week. But we won't talk about it because it's in the past. But Ricochet is very upset. And, he wants to get his championship match. And he's mad that Kenny just gets to walk in and get a championship match. So I'm like, I smell a plot development. And it is a plot development because tomorrow night we're getting a trios match. It is the Demand versus good old Kenneth Omega. Just casually teaming up with, oh, I don't know, just some random people, whoever else is on here, like Pushaw. Of course, I'm totally being facetious because when I saw that makeup of who Kenny was going to be teaming with, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, and you gonna put this on free television? And I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, Tony Khan, you gonna give us the Demand, which of course is the Gates of Agony and Ricochet, and they're gonna go up against. Well, I mean, Jungle Jack Perry's in that match, so I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Him and Ricochet got a rematch. But I don't know, Kenny and Brody King, part of this trios team, like Kenny and Brody King on the same side. I'm sold. So Kenny is gonna be a very busy boy tomorrow night.
That's gonna be a fun match. Ricochet is a dumbass, and that's all I want to say. Because this was a fine little setup for I think what's coming down the road.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So more on that tomorrow night when we watch the episode. Main event time, no countouts. Roosh versus Darby Allin. This match was also on and poppin', and I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed this.
I really can't. I will never complain about a Roosh match. Roosh just beats the crap out of everybody. He just sort of has a different vibe that he brings, and Darby was a great opponent for him because Darby's like the best underneath fighting from underneath babyface. And ooh boy, they might have tried to turn up the ring mics and lower the crowd mics, but that crowd got that shit in.
For real. I mean, yeah, you're right. Roosh beating up on people was fantastic. I loved it. And so Darby squeaks out a victory. Doesn't get to celebrate for too long because, Don Callis' family, after last week, taking money from MJF to take out Darby Allin, who has made his intentions clear to come after MJF's title. And Darby gets thrown around by big men. Jealous, but on Andrade, though, is still not really vibing with it, and he is arguing with Don throughout this whole entire thing. And Darby Lane in a puddle of Darby is how the show goes off the air for Dynamite. So
Yeah.
Dynamite was pretty. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that I like the Andrade wrinkle. It's pretty nice.
For reals. Anywho, so really great stuff. That is how Dynamite goes off the air. So let us get into Collision, which was a little bit more straightforward. And no shade, I'm glad that we're back to a regular 2 hour Collision. Because I was just like, I don't have to stay up super late to watch 1 hour Collision this week. I know Benny got mad at me last week, but you know what? It is what it is. Deal with it. Anyways, let's get into it because this was a pretty straightforward episode of Collision. And we kick things off with our AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match. So this, of course, is Divine Dominion, which is Megan Bayne and Lena Cross defending their tag titles against the former champs, the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, in a rematch. This was great. And this is what I need for Divine Dominion. Just like run and destroy women in every championship defense because the Babes, they tried, but Divine Dominion steamrolled. It's like, though I was taken out of the match a little bit because there was a very scary spot with Megan. I was like, oh no, she looked like she landed really rough. Thank God it seems that she's okay. So I was just like, no, but thank goodness she was okay. But this was a really fun match and a really fun first defense for Divine Dominion. And they are still the women's world tag champs. So this was great. I thought this was a really fun match to open up Collision this week.
Yeah, I remember that spot too when she did the suicide dive and tope suicide. Uh, it reminds me if it's on YouTube, should it be a tope unaliver or um?
That's true. Her face went kersplat.
Yeah, I was just joking around. It was just it was just a joke, but like I thought she had recovered really nicely, and that's really what matters. And there was a spot where Babes of Wrath had a double single leg crab on, and I thought that was a really fun spot. Um, and the crowd came up for it, so like they still got something there, but unfortunately they're moving on. Um,
that that they are. Sorry.
no, you're fine. I was just the last thing I was just gonna say was that like I really like the Yay Boo spot with Willow and Megan. They got something there with them with those two for sure.
So I'm here for Divine Dominion to decimate and have a really fun run. And Babes of Wrath, we're gonna talk about you a little bit later in the show because I'm gonna wait until we get to that part of the show where we see you again. But really fun opening match. From here, we get into our next match, which was also another fun one. Johnny TV taking on Myron Reed of the Rascals. It was really nice to see all three Rascals in competition this evening, so everyone was on television. Myron's so good. I am Thank you, Tony Khan, for listening to me put Myron in singles matches because this man can go against anyone. Myron is fantastic. And Johnny, you look great bald. No, but this was a really fun match. I thought this was really good. And yeah, I'm biased. I'm a big Myron Reed fan. I've always have been. But this was a really fun match for Myron to win here and get that record up. Love you, Myron.
Yeah, I really like this match a lot as well. Little critique. I didn't think that sending them out there cold really helped helped either person, but like there wasn't a promo or anything before it, so like the crowd was like, okay, and by the end they were like, okay, like, um, but like man, Johnny DB was definitely a great first opponent for Myron. I'm a huge fan of Myron myself. I'm a huge fan of his stuff in Wrestling Revolver, and uh, he's a special talent, and I look forward to what's coming next.
I look forward to seeing what's next for Myron too, but this was another fun one. We're going to talk about his other two Rascal Brethren a little bit later in the show. A really fun match for Myron and Johnny TV. After this is another Moxley promo. Mox. So this was funny. So I'm gonna let this. So Death Riders cut a promo against Private Party, like right after, give a promo of their own, firing back at the Death Riders, saying that they're going to turn chaos into opportunity, which immediately led into our next match, Benny, the Death Riders versus Private Party. Oh my God, is that Private Party? I thought this was a fun enough match. I love Private Party, but I already knew it was like, rest their souls, Death Riders, they gonna win because we gotta build up Moxley and for his match against Osprey. So unfortunately, Private Party got thrown onto the tracks, but they did put up a fight, and I was very entertained. But yeah, no win for Private Party, which I'm sad. But Death Riders pick up a win here. I thought the match was fun. I love seeing Private Party. I'm just hoping that now that they're back, we do something more substantial with Private Party. Um, but we'll see what happens.
Mox says what Mox said in the promo later on has anything to do with it, but I thought there was a really fun uh, tag match. Uh, Private Party did this like F5 into a cutter that I've like never seen before, and I was like, wow, how hasn't anybody thought of that? That's pretty brilliant, man. Um, you know, uh, I don't know. The Death Brothers were really good in this as well. Like, I think I was misremembering about the Danny Garcia stuff, but hey, Danny got 2 matches this week. Awesome.
Very true. Daniel Garcia did indeed get some matches. He got 2 matches this week on AEW television, so can't complain. But yeah, Death Riders pick up the victory here. We're going to see the Death Riders a little bit later, specifically Moxley possibly cutting a promo. Don't know if I put it in here for the slide, which I think I did. We'll get to that later. Uh, so hopefully, past Mikey, you did what you were supposed to. But moving on. Another promo, which sets up the trios match of the Demand versus Kenny, Jungle Jack Perry, and Brody King tomorrow night on Dynamite. Because these boys were also in Canada at the time of Collision. So, so yeah, sets up the match for tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. The Brawling Birds are in action. I do like that their finisher is called the 2 birds, 1 stone. It was great. Now, this is what we got. This was the graphic that we got, that the Brawling Birds would be in action. What they didn't tell us that it would be the Brawling Birds plus Mina Shirakawa, participating in some trios action against our lovely local talent here. The Brawling Birds and Mina would end up picking up the victory. After the match, the Triangle of Madness cuts a promo in the middle of the arena with the Brawling Birds and Mina in the ring. So it seems that this is going to be the feud for a little bit with Mina and Tekla and the Brawling Birds and the Sisters of Sin. So I can't complain. I'm here for it. It should be fun. It should be a fun little feud.
Yeah, I like the little promo before the match, uh, like introducing Mina, and I thought that was really fun. And then the trios match was really good. Damn, man, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor are so good together. Like it's leaps and bounds better than some of the others. But like I like that there was the word piss was used in two different contexts in the Brawling Brits promo. Taking the piss and you're gonna get the piss beat out of you. Like, so
We
funny,
love to
man.
see it. We love to see it. We truly do. So this should be a really fun feud movie, like leading into the summer. So I'm here for it. This is probably a nice little feud to lead them into Double or Nothing. So I'm okay with it. So moving on. This match was really good. I really enjoyed this match. I do see that we got another updated graphic for Ace Austin. He is not wearing his bandana. He's letting the hair fly, which we appreciate. um, Tommaso, I love you. I hope this was just photo touch up, but sir, why are we looking like a bronze statue? Like, what is happening in this picture? Listen, what did we tell you? Y'all need to stop calling the Tanner of Braun Breaker because he'd be looking like Bronze Breaker out here. We've talked about this on multiple occasions. Tommaso, get it together. Anyways, this match was really fun. Oh my goodness. Ace Austin is great. Tommaso is great. This was freaking solid. I love this match. And I love what happened afterwards because Juice comes in to check on Ace. Tommaso comes in to try to, looking like he about to hit Juice Robinson. Juice is privy to the sneak attacks, and Tommaso backs off as I'm like, this could be a fun, interesting, short little feud too. Juice and Tommaso going at it would be a lot of fun, but this match was really solid. Oh my goodness. I love this match. This was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I like at the beginning that Ace like threw Champa over the top rope, and then he got mad, and then he rolled back in, and Ace did it again. So he like rolled back in and just beat the piss out of him. like, oh man, this is a pretty fun match. Like, it was a nothing burger of a match that set up something of interest. I just thought it. Like, I just think that like put give us some promos. That's all I mean. Like, just set up these feuds and promos. Like, I don't remember who eliminated who in that 21-man battle royal.
Listen, that was 2 weeks ago, and since then, we have watched a lot more wrestling since then.
Right? This is not the only product that I'm watching, so I don't remember. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that Ace eliminated Ciampa. I don't remember that.
There's a lot that happens within the wrestling world, and we watch a lot of wrestling here at BC WrestlePod, which we love. But because we watch a lot of wrestling, unless you remind me, I'm not gonna remember it off the top of my head. Like, it's crazy. But something fun for a little bit. Not gonna complain too much about it, but definitely agree with my co-host here, AEW. Please set up these matches, even if it's brief promos, like 30-second promos as to why we fighting. Like, that is all I need. Or commentary to even explain it when we're getting entrances. Like, I'd be okay with that too. Just like
Yeah,
tell me
like
why we're having this match. It's gonna be a banger, but I do need why. I need the why.
like when they're coming in the entrance and like they do like the little lower third promo, like this is why I'm here and this is why this is happening. Like, that's all we need.
Right.
Like,
That's all I need, and we'll be okay, honestly. So we'll be continuing to follow the development of this. I'll just like moment of silence. is the end of the road. Hey, but you know what? Thank God they didn't turn on each other because I'm so over that trope when tag teams break up. Like, honestly, this is a nice little promo, and I may have cried a little bit, but the Babes of Wrath are no more. Willow has her TBS championship she's gonna be focused on, and Harley is gonna do what Harley does best and just go with the wind and be involved in like 18 people's storylines. We love her for it. But I shedded a little tear. This was a nice little run for the Babes of Wrath, and Babes of Wrath forever. Love them.
Yeah. This is a fun team. I'm I'm not happy that it's over by any means. I'm gonna miss them. But it was a it was a team that was made for the tournament. So like, and like we didn't really see any progression in their friendship really. So like, that's my only concern. But like, I'm really happy for them to go their own separate ways because, as you said, Willow has the TBS and she can now focus on that. And Harley, well, there's some iconics that just won some TJPW tag titles, so I could see them coming back shortly.
Very true. I don't I would love the Inspiration and Harley to be together, but I wanna hold off on that. I was like, "Just don't put all the Australians together quite yet. Let Harley do Harley things really quickly. Just let's do something fun with her." And yeah, Willow still got the TBS championship, so that would be fun. You know what? Put Harley in the Owen Hart and maybe not get to the finals, but, like, make it depending on how big the field is this year, let her make it to, like, the semifinals, and then she gets eliminated. Like, let her get at least 1 win, and then, from there. But Babes of Wrath, RIP, we love you. This was fun. And again, I'm happy that they are still amicable and they are broken up. I say that, and then Stardom announced their US show during WrestleMania weekend, American Dream, and Harley, Willow, and Chris Statlander will be teaming up against some of the Stardom girls. So I was like, well, it doesn't count because it's not AEW television land, but still, that match at American Dream though should be fun.
Yeah, that's true. It's a little side quest.
Out here getting all the side quests. Benny, we'll talk about it because they announced the first couple of matches for American Dream, and I am excited. But we'll talk offline. But RIP Base of Wrath, we love you. Okay, but like this match was also busted, as the kids say. Now, Kyle did start limping around towards the end. I'm like, good God, no. But it seems like he's doing okay. I haven't heard anything that he broke something or he's going to be out indefinitely, but he was in good spirits. He was in a little bit of a walking boot, but no confirmation that he broke something. But this match was bussin', as the kids say.
Yeah, I heard somebody say the other day, and I'm gonna steal it because it's the only thing that fits. We got Aussie Open back, but at what cost?
I know, right? I was just like, Aussie Open is back, but at what cost?
And this is sort of like a dream match for me. Like, right, I love the Rascals and I love Aussie Open. Um, I'm sure that they've faced once or twice before, but not that I've seen. So uh, it was fine. It was a very fine TV tag match. I'm not going to overhype it. I'm not going to undersell it. It was great. It was a fine TV match.
And plus, I'm also figuring that Tony Khan, as well as a couple other promotions, don't want a lot of these folks to do too much right now because of all the shows that a lot of these people are going to be involved in over the next couple of weeks. Again, sidebarring it real quick. On paper, it's going to be nuts. But MLP's next show, Multiverse, which is happening during, Mania weekend, which is going to include a lot of the promotions that they work with. They've already announced their first match, and I'm drooling because it is just going to be high octane nonsense because it is all three rascals. So Dez, Zach, and Myron taking on Místico Máscara Dorada and the legendary wrestler of New York himself, Amazing Red. So exactly. And then just randomly at WrestleCon, it's going to be Ricochet versus Leon Slater, and I'm just like, excuse me. God, that is a dream match. And I was like,
This is going to be the most exhausting WrestleMania week ever. Because we also got
God, there's
what is it? Josh Barnett versus Kojima at
God.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport's
At,
about to be on and popping. Spring break for
at J-
Joey Janela is going to get crazy. There's big matches made for Evie's Big A Brunch.
yeah,
Thunder is fighting at Gringo Loco show during that whole week too. Also, she's going to be fighting in May for House of Glory as well, so that should be fun as well. So that there's just so much nonsense happening. And so I'm so
just
excited, but it's gonna be oh god, we're gonna be dead by the end of this, metaphorically speaking.
yeah.
But
Just to
honestly,
clarify, I'm not a huge fan of Josh Barnett, the person. But sometimes when at the Bloodsport things, I'm him versus
we could,
Kojima. I'm excited about.
we could put it for the
I don't
side
like
for like
Josh.
5 minutes.
What?
Because it's code. I was like, we put it to the side for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Josh has I have issues with Josh, but also he's a giant nerd too. So it's just like, all right, Josh, you have done some really I will say this: Josh Barnett may has done some crappy things, but at least to me, he hasn't done shitty things. And when you do shitty things, is where I don't really mess with you forever. Like you've done some crappy
uh,
things.
we can talk up online, but there's some pretty messed up stuff. But
Oh, never
whatever.
mind. I
That's not
rescind
that's
that.
not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking
N-
about.
No, but this was great. Again, haven't heard anything that Kyle Fletcher broke something and he gonna be out of action. But he started limping around at the towards the end of this match. I was like, no. But so far, nothing crazy. But Aussie, well, it says Don Callis family. I refuse it. Aussie Open wins over the Rascals. This was fun. So, moving on. Moxley, this promo was gas. Yes, 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 sir. This is what I need. And once again, yes. Moxley, you're just so good from going between tweener and face. I mean, like heelish tweener. So this is great.
Yeah, he's such like probably one of my favorite promos like today. It has been for a long time, but like he makes you sit up and take notice, and I love that about him. And like there was one point where like Danny started to break, so he looked at Claudio, and Claudio went, "Nope." So like Danny had to go.
When Moxley, not to say that Moxley's promos are never serious, but when he hones in, like it is some great mic work, and I've always really loved that about Moxley. And it now it I mean I was invested in this feud that with him and Osprey going into Dynasty, but now I'm paying a lot more attention to it too. So I'm like, oh, this is about to be good. If this is the kind of stuff we're gonna get for the next 2 weeks between these two on the mic, like this is gonna be great.
Yeah, Mox at times can be a poet on the mic, and I really like that style of promo.
I do too. So really great stuff. I'm going to continue to develop this and to watch this the next 2 weeks as we head into Dynasty. But this is going to be the last call. We are heading into our main event, the end of our review portion of the show. So I am hitting those links in the chat once again for our socials and our merchandise store that you can check out. And without further ado, let us get into our Collision main event. Oh my gosh, yes. So, AEW International Championship match. Our champion Kazuchika Okada taking on the challenger Kevin Knight. This has been a really great trilogy between these two, honestly. I'm just like, oh my god, this match rolled. This was such a great main event. Holy crap. Like, Kevin is great, Okada is great. Like, I was happy with this match.
Yeah, in my notes, I had put down the Battle of the Dropkicks. And
Seriously.
Lordy Lou. There was this one point where, like, it was probably right before the first commercial break, where Okada's on the outside, like, right at the bottom of the ramp, and Kevin Knight does a springboard clothesline and hits Okada, like, completely, like, it's, that guy's range is so crazy. It's so insane. And, like, towards the end of the match where, like, Okada, like, rolls to 3/4 of the way and, uh uh, Kevin the Jet Knight still hits, the UFO splash on Okada, but he gets the knees up. It's like, that is so insane. Like, that was the whole ring. That wasn't even 3/4. That was, like, the whole ring. Like,
Seriously. This match was a lot of fun. Okada does end up retaining due to, some leverage on the ropes, but what a collision main event. This was a really fun match to end the show. And yeah, let's honestly, these two can fight many more times. And who knows? Depending on what we do with Owen Hart, we might see this match happen a lot sooner than we think. But great stuff. And that is how Collision goes off the air. And that has been our AEW review, our post show for this week. So Dynamite and Collision were a lot of fun this week. We are officially 2 weeks out from Dynasty. So we're going to see what other matches are going to end up being made for this. But before we get out of here, to kind of let you know what the remainder of this week looks like, this is going to be fun. So tomorrow night, we are taking a little bit of taking a little bit of a break. So there will be no NXT or CMLL tomorrow night. But we will be back live on Thursday to make up for it with a double dose of shows at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be here. The Mystery Wrestling crew will be here to break down Mystery Wrestling 23 as it made its debut in Edmonton, Canada. So, Edmonton is a new place, a new venue. And we're going to talk about all that stuff and all the nonsense that went down there, which was a lot of fun. And then later that evening at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, it's our first Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show of the year. So we will be covering MLP's Uprising, and we'll talk about all the stuff that went down in Canada. So in Winnipeg, yeah, I believe it was in Winnipeg. Yeah, Winnipeg. I don't know. There's a lot of places. There are a lot of stuff happening in Canada in the next couple of weeks. But those shows are going to be on Thursday. On Friday, the TNA crew will be here. We will be talking about TNA Sacrifice, which is the most recent pay per view that happened this past weekend for TNA, as we also look ahead as we are 2 weeks out, not only from Dynasty, but we're 2 weeks out away from TNA's next big pay per view, Rebellion. So that's going to be crazy. Then on Saturday in the morning, take two, we are going to be talking about Ring of Honor and MLP's Global Wars Canada. So the stars of Ring of Honor and Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling collide. So that's going to be fun to talk about. And then later that evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, myself and Kilt will be here to do a live watch along for NXT Stand and Deliver. It is their biggest show of the year. And for the first time in the forever, Stand and Deliver is not going to be happening the same weekend as WrestleMania. So lots of fun matches. Every championship is on the line for NXT. So that should be a fun hangout time. So come stop by on Saturday. But we also got a fully loaded week coming up ahead. We got Sakura Genesis coming up very soon. More Stardom action. We got Progress Wrestling coming up soon as well. So very busy April. So stay tuned for all of that. But from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you Thursday for Mystery Wrestling and Maple Leaf Pro. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.